If you're using Google Ads strategies that have worked over the last 5 or 10 years and you think you can keep using those as we move into an AI search world, you're going to get absolutely destroyed. I've been transforming Google Ads accounts for businesses for the last 10 years, and I can tell you one thing right now. The businesses that are struggling the most aren't those that aren't spending enough. They are the businesses and the accounts that refuse to give Google the data it needs so it can improve and learn and get you better results over time. That data is even more important as we move into an AI search world. So in this video, I'm going to break down what's changing in AI search, what you need to change so that you can not just survive, but thrive as Google moves into an AI search world. Let's dive in. This is the year that AI search truly takes over. We had teasers of it in 2025, whether that was AI Max, Search Max, AI Overviews, Performance Max. We were seeing the teasers and the breadcrumbs that this is where things are going, but 2026 is absolutely going to be the year that AI search takes over and becomes the dominant force when it comes to not just organic search, but paid ads as well. Even as we move into an AI search world, Google's role hasn't changed at all. Their primary goal is to provide users, so the people searching on Google, with the perfect referral, whether that's the perfect link to click, website to visit, or business to view. Google's job and goal is to provide searchers with the perfect referral. That does not change in an AI search world. What has changed in an AI search world is how much easier us as users have made it for Google to tell us the perfect referral we want. And we do that because we give Google so much more context in an AI search world. Whereas previously, we would go to Google and we would say, looking for accounting software or accounting software for businesses. We would give Google essentially 4 keywords as to what we want. Now, in an AI search world, we have a long conversation, whether that be with ChatGPT or Gemini or other AI models. We have a long backwards and forwards with these tools, telling them exactly what we want. Not just specifically accounting software, but who we are. We might be a freelancer. Where we are, we might be looking for accounting software that works particularly well or is popular in a certain country. The type of business we're doing. So we could be looking for international transactions or help with payroll. We make it so much easier for AI search to know exactly what type of referral we want, whereas historically we were just giving it essentially 3 keywords. Where businesses fail, and I think where they will fail more aggressively over the next few years, is not giving Google the opportunity to match the context of what someone is searching for with the context of specifically what your business does. Google's not changing what it does, it's actually getting far better at understanding the context of people's searches and providing the perfect referral. But as businesses, we have to enable our Google Ads accounts so that we can become that perfect referral. If we're using old school strategies, that just won't work. By the way, if at any point during this video you feel you'd like some personalized insights and a second pair of eyes within your Google Ads account, then we offer a completely free Google Ads audit service. Click the first link down in the description below and you can register and apply for an audit there. Back to the video. One of the key Google Ads principles that absolutely will not work as we move into an AI search world is exact match keywords. When I grew up on Google Ads and started learning it around 10 years ago, everything was about exact match. So within a Google Ads account, if we go back to that accounting software example, that will be a keyword that has the squared brackets around it. And that means if someone searches for accounting software, then the search will absolutely have to include accounting software in there for the ads to appear. That old school Google Ads technique of researching keywords, and we'd have accounts with thousands of different exact match keywords in there, worked really well back then. And to an extent, it still does work well for those on a smaller budget. But exact match and what it represents just will not work in an AI search world. We absolutely need to be setting up and enabling campaigns so that they use broad match keywords. What broad match does is allows Google to understand a little bit more of the search intent and nuance behind someone that's searching for accounting software. For example, they might not have searched for accounting software. They might have searched for software to help me run my payroll for international contractors. That to an extent might still trigger a Google Ads keyword for accounting software if Google's able to match the intent of that more longer tail search that someone could have been using in AI and match that with the content on your website and your ad copy that says you excel in payroll software as well as international payments. But we just have to move away, firstly, from understanding that exact match is disappearing. I just physically don't think it would exist in the next few years within Google Ads. Everything will be about broad match. Broad match can be an absolute disaster if you don't have these other optimizations in place, which I will explain. But you need to get comfortable with the world of broad match. That is the way Google is going. We won't be able to be so specific on exactly the searches that we appear for. If we are going to enable broad match, one of the key fundamentals to allow it to succeed comes to conversion tracking. That is so important because essentially what accurate conversion tracking does is it tells Google and rewards Google for making a perfect referral in the past. Go back to that accounting software example we just gave. If we ignore keywords and someone had a big long backwards and forwards with AI search talking about how they were looking for accounting software, they were looking for help with freelancers, they were looking for international payments, for example. It took all of those signals within a long search within AI search. It referred them to your business because it believed you were the best referral for that particular search, and that person went on to inquire or they became a customer of yours. If you report that back to Google, Google then can essentially pat itself on the back and know that it did its job right. Google will know that it made the perfect referral. And if it knows that it did that, next time someone searches or has a similar conversation with AI, searching for those similar use cases, so talking about freelancers, talking about international payroll software, then it knows in the past it made a perfect referral to you. It wants to keep making perfect referrals, so it will refer you again. One of the key differentiators to this, however, when it comes to conversion tracking, is actually the Google process called offline conversion tracking. And I have a whole new video and a whole separate video for you to watch about exactly what offline conversion tracking is. The next key concept that we need to avoid in this instance to succeed in an AI search world is we need to get comfortable in handing more control over to Google and not micromanaging quite so much of our Google Ads campaigns. In this example, I'm specifically talking about ad copy and landing pages. In Google's absolute dream world, the following scenario will exist. Google will essentially decide what you appear for. It will decide exactly what the ad says, and it will decide exactly what landing page they send them to. And if you want my real kind of tin hat look into the future, I actually think we'll probably get to a stage where it even decides what that landing page says. And that's not too crazy to think about because that is essentially what happens with AI search now anyway. If you go into AI search and ask about a particular software and whether it's useful for your specific use case, Google will almost create a mini version of your website within the AI software. So it will absolutely not be a huge shock to me if in the future ads go to landing pages that Google is essentially building and compiling information from key pieces of your website. But I wouldn't worry too much about that right now. I'm kind of saying let's talk about 2026. That might be something for the 2027 video or 2028. However, right now, Google absolutely is pushing businesses to allow Google to decide what searches you appear for. That's broad match, essentially. What your ad copy says and what landing page within your current website searches go to. Those latter 2 points, you absolutely see this already within the Google Ads campaigns that you're running. Firstly, there's something called text customization, which is a feature you can tick on or off within your Google Ads account. And what that will do is allow Google to change the exact text on your ads to match what it says is match user intent and also the landing page they're going to. Obviously, this is a perfect opportunity, if done correctly, for your ads to be incredibly relevant, because Google can say, going back to that accounting software example, Google can say this person is specifically looking for accounting software for freelancers. The ad copy could talk about freelancers in more detail, and then it can choose the landing page within your website that most effectively talks to freelancers in that specific use case. That ability to essentially decide what page your ads go to is something called final URL expansion. It's another setting you'll see ticked within your Google Ads account. And at this point, what I'm saying is that don't go into your Google Ads account right now and tick all these boxes, but we just have to kind of be comfortable that this is the way it's going and we need to swim with the tide of Google Ads. And the key is actually making sure that you have those landing pages or you have the pages on the site that actually speak to those individual use cases. And I'll detail that in a future section. And actually what I'm saying here really is I don't fully trust these 2 features right now. I don't trust the text customization in ads, and I don't fully trust the final URL expansion. We just need to be comfortable. If we're going to succeed in an AI search world, we have to be comfortable relinquishing some of that control of exactly what's happening in our Google Ads campaigns and move to a place where we enable Google's AI to get the best out of those features that Google is telling us will work in an AI search world. What is particularly interesting about almost everything I've said so far in this video is it highlights to me that the gap between Google Ads and SEO is reducing incredibly quickly, and the two will merge closer than we might think. Because of that, I would now say, now more than ever, SEO best practices are fundamental to the success of your Google Ads campaigns. I do not think that businesses moving forward will be able to succeed just on ads. I fundamentally believe the days of being terrible at SEO and relying on ads are over for businesses. You will have to have good SEO foundations so that your ads can succeed. Let's talk about that in a little bit more detail. The key difference between SEO and Google Ads is you are paying Google to skip the queue. I run Google Ads for businesses across the world now. I very rarely actually click on ads when I'm looking for a product. The reason for that is because organic listings, so SEO, I actually feel are more relevant to me because Google has recommended them because they think they are the most relevant to me, not because that business is willing to pay the most amount of money for me. However, that process did work for businesses in a keyword world because those businesses could say to Google, we're willing to spend £10,000 a month on this specific keyword for this specific software, and we'll appear pretty much irrelevant of the context of what they're looking for. And that's because within Google search, sponsored ads and organic ads are separate. They're two different areas of the Google search experience. In an AI search world, they will essentially be blended together, and Google will use all of that context of what that person is searching for to then decide what ad to serve. How businesses can handle this change in an AI search world isn't just by telling Google what you do by giving it a list of keywords, but it's by showing it who you do it for, how you've done it successfully in the past. Those are kind of two key ways to look at it. And generally speaking, a good way to do that for both sides is with case studies and specific examples. Take an example of a roofing business. Say in years gone by, someone would go to Google and then search roofer near me, and Google would have a bidding war on those keywords, and generally speaking, the business paying the most is going to appear at the top of those searches. Now, people won't go to Google and say roofer near me. They'll potentially have a real backwards and forwards talking about their specific property. They might own an old cottage with a thatched roof that's been there for 250 years. And that's specifically what they're looking for in a roofer. When Google then comes to serve an ad and decide which roofer to recommend, it won't just show the ad of the roofer spending the most money, because that might not be the best possible referral. What it will do, and using the processes we've discussed, so using final page URL expansion as an example, and the text expansion within the ads, it will look at all of those roofers, and if one of those roofers has got their Google Ads set up effectively, or their website set up effectively, so that there is a landing page on their website specifically talking about how they did roofing on an old cottage or thatched cottage, and that's included within their landing page and their website, Google will understand that, and it will match the context of the search with what people are specifically showing they can do on their website and their business website. And that for me is a key foundation, is because that landing page in years gone by would have probably been put there for the purpose of SEO. Almost a kind of old school SEO strategy, lots of different landing pages, saying where you are, saying what you do. Those pages that some people might have kind of poo-pooed as we've moved into different SEO worlds, or newer, kind of more modernized SEO foundations, I think are actually going to be paramount to the success of Google Ads campaigns in the future, because you've specifically spoken about who you are, you're a roofer, what you do specifically, so you can do roofing for cottages and specific use cases, and you've done it successfully, so you've got case studies and social proof within there. Google could now match those two. It can match the context of the search, that person is specifically searching in AI search or any Google or any kind of AI tool, and pass that over to a landing page that specifically talks about that exact use case. Okay, so we've talked a lot there about how AI search is going to change in 2026 and beyond. So what can businesses do right now to make sure they're set up and ready to go for an AI search world? Firstly is fix your data. You have to be telling Google when it previously made the perfect referral, so it knows next time they're talking to AI and they're looking for a specific business, you can report back to Google and say, when someone just like this previously searched, we were the perfect referral because they became a customer, please refer us again, essentially. The data is so much more important now than in previous Google Ads worlds, where you could even run campaigns where you didn't even optimize for conversions at all. This is going to be absolutely vital. I would say also invest in SEO now. And this is someone who specializes entirely in Google Ads. I have no kind of affiliations or make no money off anyone kind of running SEO campaigns. Sometimes over the last 10 years, I've even debated what's more important, SEO or Google Ads, or what's better for businesses. But now I am absolutely telling all of our clients and all businesses that you need the SEO foundations in place. If Google doesn't have the context from your website now to refer you organically, when organic search, SEO search, and ad search blend together in AI search, which is going to become increasingly more prominent, you will be left behind. Now is the time to invest in SEO foundations, because these will benefit your ads more than they may well have done in the past. I would say important too is starting to build out your website content. I think there's a few things that are really going to change as we move into this AI search world. Firstly, I don't believe that we're going to be able to continue to send ads to what are these kind of island landing pages that don't really give any other access to any other places on your website. Google needs to be able to see your whole website, the whole domain, everything you do, and really understand the context of exactly what you do, who you do it for, how you've done it successfully in the past. So generally speaking, I feel these kind of island landing pages are going to die or disappear or fall away. And realistically, we do need to give Google more control and say, here's our whole website, here's a selection of pages that have previously targeted ads in the past. These are the type of pages you should be sending ads to. We give it a little bit more control. If your website's incredibly basic, if it doesn't have pages that talk about specific use cases and who you've helped successfully in the past, it is going to hinder Google's ability to match the context of the search with the specific context of the services that you provide. Based on everything we've just said, what I would also add as a next kind of step for businesses is don't be too concerned if your cost per click is going to continue to rise. I do think that is something that is going to happen in the future. There are less people searching that click on business links because so many more searches are now being answered or resolved in zero-click traffic. So they're answered in a blog post by Google or by AI tools specifically, rather than sending people to a business. The actual number of clicks on ads will reduce because Google Ads is an auction. That will mean the cost per click will increase. However, if you follow these steps of how to improve and optimize for an AI search world, I'm incredibly excited about the opportunity businesses have to get better, more specific, higher intent, higher quality leads through Google Ads. So while your cost per click may increase, I'm confident that A, your cost per lead could remain the same, or even if it does increase, the quality of those leads is going to get so much better because you have enabled Google to match the context of the search with the context of specifically what you do as a business. And just to close this off really, there absolutely is still a place today, I would say, for the kind of more exact match shackles on approach. I've done a whole separate video on how that works really well for smaller budgets, and we are kind of hanging on to the relevancy of exact match in search now. However, this is changing so quickly with AI search, and I'm so confident this is the year that we finally move into that kind of new frontier after it being kind of teased for the last couple. And so the best Google Ads campaigns will be those that are set up to enable Google's data, allow Google to have slightly more control over exactly what it does within your Google Ads campaigns, because you follow some of the foundations I've said in this video or other information or other videos you might have seen. But this is the year things change. Now is the time to set up those foundations so you can succeed in an AI search world. Those methods that may well have worked perfectly for you for the last 10 or 15 years are going to become obsolete very, very quickly. Now, if you want a second pair of eyes on your current Google Ads campaign, we offer a completely free audit service where we'll look through your campaign right now. That free audit generally is broken down into 3 key areas. Firstly, we look for any significant missed opportunities. We look for any clear evidence of wasted spend. And we critically analyze how well set up your campaigns are for an AI search world. If that's of interest, click the first link below and we'll conduct that free audit for you and get that over to you in a short video review. Hope that helps, and we'll catch you soon.